Okay, so this is where I'm at. I have drawn up a rough guide of the chassis I want under the trailer. This will be the main part of the drawbar. This will sit up along here. I also have these are the side runners for underneath the front. Once I glue these on, then I will do a couple of bars at the back, and then I'll start on the tow hitch setup. So I'll grab my glue, I'm going to run a bead along here. The reason I'm not holding this in front of the camera is I want to try and be quick, so that you're not sitting there waiting forever for me to do something. Okay, so same deal as when you're building the rest of the trailer. Line it up as nice as you can, push out the bottom if you need to. Once you're happy with where it is, just press them together slightly, wipe off the excess. Pretty happy with that, I think. Right, one side. I will now do the next. Now, it's in your best bet to, and I should have done this but I haven't, it's your best bet to cut out your middle pieces before you do this. Reason being, that way you can put in your dividers as soon as you glue these pieces on. That way you can space everything out and you know it's going to stay upright. But I've done a few of these drawbars now. Well, a few, I've done a couple. But I've pretty well clicked onto the best ways of doing it. You'll have to excuse the camera, it's not cooperating. There's a lot of this stuff that's going to be probably out of focus. Right, so that gives you the idea. That's the shape we're going for. This will be the top of the drawbar. Like, yay. This piece, the extra piece I've done, I was considering, after I've done a few rails for the added strength, put this piece on top and then it's a fully enclosed box. So that's that piece there done. I'm going to turn this off again. I will cut a couple of beams. I'll cut the long runners and possibly a few of the side runners, and I'll come back and we'll put those on. Okay, so I've done a quick bit of a sketch on here. I've also cut a couple of cross members for my drawbar. I've cut a couple of lengths for the start of the chassis. First thing I'm going to do, I'll move the chassis lengths aside and we will add the two bars to the drawbar. Now, the reason we do this is for strength. Makes it a bit more durable for when you do put a bit of weight on the trailer. What I'm going to do is start with the back bar here. Now, you don't have to be perfect when you cut these. As long as you've got a few bars going across, that's pretty much the main part of it. You can cut a length, as long as it slides into a certain point and you can glue that in, you're pretty well sorted. Now at the moment I'm only doing the bottom. I will drop a dab of glue either side. Once I've got this where I want it, I'll just slide that bottom out a touch. Again, try not to use too much of this glue because it will warp your plastic, and you can take it from me, that's not a whole lot of fun. Now I'm just putting some glue on the next piece that I will slide into place. Okay, now on that one I did glue either end. Gives you an idea what we're going for there. This stuff's pretty flexible. As soon as you add a couple of crossbars with it, the amount of strength it gets is quite surprising. So now, once my glue cooperates for me, I'm just going to add a drop either side, and I'll give that a wiggle and work it into the end piece. And that's pretty much all you need to do, just a bit of a wiggle. Once the smallest piece gets in there, you're pretty well set. So now I'll set that aside. That can dry, harden up. Do have to trim a touch off here, I'm aware of that. But that's not an issue. Actually, I might be able to, I'll grab my tin snips. Just gives you an idea of how quick this stuff sets. You can grab your tin snips, give it a quick snip whilst it's, because I've only just glued it. It's got enough strength for me to do that, so brilliant. Right, I will set that aside. Now, I will run a good bead. Actually, I'll do it on the trailer. Run a bead along the glue line. Along the black line where I've drawn it, you know what I mean? Right, now, same deal as when we were building the trailer in the first place. Just try and line it up as nice and straight as you can. Hold it into place for a little bit. As you can see too, I've run some lines across where I'm going to put beams across, and that should stop any flex in the trailer whilst it's loaded. When you're cutting thin pieces of this stuff, you will notice it does like to bend. So when you're doing stuff like this, your best bet, hold it there for a little bit until it'll hold itself in the right spot. Otherwise, by the time you go to do these pieces, you're going to find that it's bowed in slightly, and not all your measurements will be the same. All a part of the fun. Something else to remember too, this is the underside of the trailer. It doesn't have to be ridiculously pretty. I like to try and make mine, you know, reasonably scaled looking. They're not perfect, I know that, but you know, that's a part of the fun, isn't it? There's always that one person that'll say, it doesn't look very scale. Sorry mate, I didn't want to go and spend $300 on a trailer, I figured I'd build one. We all know those people. Right, another line of glue, another side of the chassis. Probably call it a frame on a trailer, but we'll stick with chassis, whatever works. Actually feel this piece is trying to bend. And the reason it does it is when you cut a longer piece, it bends as you cut it. Steady. There are some times where you can get away with using a peg. You could probably use a little clamp or something like that as well, just to hold it exactly where you want it. Right, so for the moment, I think that should be pretty good. So that's got our two rails on. I can now go ahead and attach this piece, and we're starting to make some good progress. Now it's easy to want to use a heap of glue on this because it's a pretty integral part of the build, but I haven't gone crazy. It's a reasonably thin little layer. I might actually do one more just across the top of the trailer here. With previous trailers I've built, I have actually put 3 bolts into the front. This one, because it's just a lightweight trailer, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to test my luck. I'll just line this up so it looks somewhat reasonably straight to my eye. That should be pretty good, I think. You might notice too, in some videos I might do, I may sneak a little accent in. I've got a terrible habit of doing different accents and voices, etc. Some of you might like them, some of you might just think I'm a bit of a dick. But that's all a part of the fun too, I suppose. Right, pretty happy with how that's sitting. Now I'm just going to put a little dab of glue in here, just so that I can pinch that frame rail up against it. The other one's actually sitting slightly inside it. Like I say, I'm not an expert, so let's not expect too much. Right, so for the moment, within probably, say about an hour, I have stopped for a coffee. About an hour, we've got the basis of our trailer underway. So, I'll pick you up off the floor now. That's the basis of our box trailer. How good am I? Back to front. Good thing it doesn't really matter and it's just a box. Anyways, that gives you the idea of where we're at. You see what I mean, how the little thin bits like to curve? I'm not overly phased about that. I can actually play with that a bit whilst, before it sets, and also I could do that runner first, then that one, and straighten that out. Anyway, not a big deal. So, that's where we're at so far. Less than an hour, and it's starting to look like a trailer.